Shattered Silence, A Journey of Survival and Healing, by Nanice Munoz, formerly Nicola Nooks. Chapter 14, The Gift of Self-Discovery, Embracing My True Self. The greatest gift I received on my journey was discovering my true self. No longer weighed down by the expectations of others, I finally stood fully in the light of my own identity. This revelation didn't come overnight. It emerged from years of reflection, healing, and growth. I learned to love myself for who I was, not for who others expected me to be. It was a profound shift, one that allowed me to release the heavy burden of chasing standards that were never mine to uphold. Healing and forgiveness were vital parts of this process, but equally important was embracing the new opportunities life brought my way. This journey wasn't simply about leaving the past behind. It was about transforming into the person I was always meant to be. In that transformation, I found peace, purpose, and a renewed sense of hope for the future. Realization of self-worth. Over the years, I gradually came to understand the true meaning of self-worth. Those years, though marked by pain and moments of doubt, also imparted some of life's most valuable lessons. I realized that while I couldn't change my mother's feelings toward me, I had the power to change how I viewed myself. My worth was not determined by her words or actions. I was more than the sum of her criticisms and unmet expectations. Embracing this truth wasn't easy, especially when the person I longed for unconditional love from seemed incapable of giving it. Her rejection often felt like a mirror, reflecting and magnifying my deepest insecurities. Yet, over time, I unearthed a quiet strength within myself, a strength that enabled me to rise above the negativity. I began to see my worth through a new lens, one shaped by faith, resilience, and a determined spirit to grow. Letting go of expectations. Releasing the expectations placed upon me became one of the most liberating experiences of my life. For so long, I carried the weight of trying to prove my worth, constantly seeking approval that always seemed just beyond my grasp. But as I redefined my own sense of value, I realized I didn't need validation from others to feel whole. This journey wasn't about denying the pain or pretending it didn't exist. It was about acknowledging the hurt while choosing not to let it define who I was. I had to unlearn the deeply rooted belief that my worth depended on how others treated me or whether they deemed me enough. Instead, I began to honor my strengths, my achievements, and the person I was becoming, transforming pain into strength. Pain shapes us in ways we don't always anticipate, but it doesn't have to break us. For me, the pain of feeling unloved and unvalued ignited a spark of growth I hadn't known I needed. It forced me to examine where I had been compromising, settling for less love, less respect, and less belief in myself. That confrontation was painful but necessary. In the process, I unearthed a resilience within me that I never thought possible. But the journey was anything but smooth. On many days, self-doubt became an unwelcome companion, whispering insidious lies about my worth and potential. Yet, even on my darkest days, I clung fiercely to one truth. I was more than the sum of my circumstances. Rejection didn't define me. Instead, my identity was forged in how I chose to rise above it, embracing healing and forgiveness. Healing and forgiveness became cornerstones of my self-discovery journey, though neither came easily. Forgiveness didn't mean excusing the actions that hurt me. It meant freeing myself from the suffocating grip of bitterness and resentment. In releasing that anger, I made space for peace to return and joy to take root. Equally important was self-forgiveness. I had to let go of the times I doubted my worth, when I let the opinions of others dictate my self-image, and the mistakes I made while struggling to find my way. That forgiveness wasn't about erasing those moments, but about granting myself the grace to grow beyond them. It was an act of liberation, a release from the weight of regret that allowed me to move forward freely. One day, as I shared parts of my story, someone said, "You need to heal and forgive." I responded with calm honesty, "I already have." Speaking about my experiences didn't mean I was holding on to the hurt. It was a way of acknowledging my journey. Healing doesn't erase scars, it transforms them. The wounds may have closed, but the scars remain as reminders of where I've been and how far I've come. Psychological studies, particularly those on post-traumatic growth, PTG, affirm that healing doesn't mean erasing all traces of pain. According to Dr. Richard Tedeschi, one of PTG's pioneers, healing after trauma can foster new strengths, deeper insights, and emotional resilience. even while scars linger. Healing isn't a destination, it's a journey. It doesn't mean you'll never feel pain again, but rather that pain no longer controls your life. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, nor does it mean you're impervious to moments of hurt. Sometimes I still feel the ache of disappointment or regret. That doesn't mean I haven't healed or forgiven. It means I cared. It's a reflection of the love I gave, the hopes I held, and the dreams I once cherished. These feelings are valid. They don't define my healing, but they are part of my story. Healing is an ongoing process of learning to carry your past without letting it define your future. Rediscovering joy. As I healed, I began to rediscover joy in the simplest moments. The laughter of a child, the golden hues of a sunrise, or the stillness of a quiet morning. These weren't just fleeting moments of happiness. They were anchors, reminding me of the beauty and goodness that still surrounded me. Each of these experiences became a gentle nudge, encouraging me to embrace life again. Even after enduring seasons of pain and loss, a renewed sense of purpose. In reconnecting with myself, I uncovered a renewed sense of purpose. The pain I had endured no longer felt meaningless. It transformed into proof of resilience and faith. I came to understand that my story carried the potential to inspire and uplift those navigating similar struggles. This newfound purpose became my motivation to keep moving forward, growing stronger, and sharing my truth with courage and authenticity. Looking ahead, as I reflect on this journey, I realize that self-discovery is not a destination. It is a continuous, evolving process of growth. It's about learning, transforming, and embracing who I am becoming. The journey has taught me that true self-awareness lays the foundation for a future filled with hope, love, and purpose. This chapter of my life has been a preparation for the next, the journey of faith. Through faith, I have found the courage to face uncertainty, trust in God's plan for my life, and step forward with confidence into the future He has designed for me. The gift of self-discovery is a blessing I now carry with gratitude, guiding me as I step into the next phase of my story. That concludes Chapter 14. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for Chapter 15 in the next video.